my creative friends, and welcome back to Zen and Creativity YouTube channel, your daily source of artistic inspiration during the Inktober Tangles 2023. I'm Yehudit Steinberg, your Certified Zentangle Teacher, and it's an absolute delight to be here with you once again. If you're enjoying our videos, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that bell of notification so you never miss a moment of creative exploration. We're dedicated to making the Zentangle method accessible to everyone, whether you're a beginner or an experienced tangler. No question is too small, so feel free to ask us in the comments. And better yet, don't forget to join our lively Sunday virtual art lab. It's a perfect place to connect with like-minded artists from around the world and get your questions answered. You can get all that information in the description of this video. And for your convenience, I have now added chapters in the video descriptions so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. Join us live this Sunday on Zoom, October 22nd, when we draw the pattern for day 22, Syndeo, together. Register on Eventbrite. Link is in the description for the Sunday Art Lab meetups. We have a growing group from all over the globe. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the new subscribers, likes, and comments on this channel during this Inktober Tangles 2023. Also want to thank all the tanglers who signed up for the Sunday Art Lab. We delve into different ways to create this pattern combined with other recent Inktober Tangles for 2023. But before we dive into today's tangle, let's take a moment to revisit the beautiful patterns we explored in the past few days. On day 19, we learned Knightsbridge, a versatile beginner grid, and Drama Tangle. It's one of the first original tangles from Zentangle Inc. On day 20, we learned the Blossom and Leaf Tangle, Kahlua. It's a fun beginner tangle, and we learned it both as a leaf and as a blossom. And on day 21, Enoch, a beautiful beginner blossom tangle inspired by winter. It's always a pleasure to learn and create together. Now let's start with introducing today's tangle, Syndeo, inspired by Stephanie Jennifer on a trip to the Singapore Asian Civilizations Museum. So many beautiful patterns she saw, and she found this vine and blossom ornate decorative element carved into the wood of a chair. She named this tangle Syndeo, as the word means connect in Greek. As a standalone tangle, the two mukha elements of Syndeo meet in the middle and connect with each other, as we will see shortly when we draw the pattern. So the categories for this tangle can be both a blossom and a vine tangle. Construct a single blossom of this new pattern. We'll learn how to draw step by step. First, I'll show you the step out. For your convenience, I've added chapters in the video description so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. Here we are on my desktop, and I've given you a quick peek of the tile that I'm going to demonstrate with Syndeo and a few other patterns that we've done recently here in Inktober Tangles 2023. As you can see, what we do every day, here is the step out and my supplies. If this is your first time here watching the videos on this channel, these are the supplies that I've been using for Inktober Tangles 2022. I have a mechanical graphite pencil that I use for sketching and beginning the tiles. I have a Micron 01. There's a Micron 08 for inking areas. There's a graphite pencil and a blending stump and a gold gel pen that I use for highlights. I'll be drawing on a 2-inch bijou tile, and we have step out templates for you in the beginner's guide. If you haven't gotten your guide yet, there's also templates for 2-inch practice tiles, and also for the 31-day mandala, Inktober mandala, that I also offer in that beginner's guide. All the information is in the description. Now is the time to take the screenshot of Syndeo for your files. As I mentioned before, I have templates for these step outs, and I highly encourage you to create your own step outs. It's a fabulous way of getting to learn a new tile, because by the time you have completed the 6 steps, you have a real good sense of how this tangle is put together, and then you can proceed. Not only that, with the 31-day challenge, you end up having really a library of new tangles that you can use and incorporate. And on Sunday, I'll show you how I've incorporated several of these tangles that we've done in October during Inktober, and we'll go from there. So if you haven't signed up yet, go to the registration. Registration is limited. We're almost at our max signups. So hurry on over there if you want to partake in the art lab. Now it's time to draw the tangles Syndeo, and I'm going to start with the 4 dots in a corner. I'm going to center this tangle in the center of this bijou tile. And as you can see in step 1, we're going to start with an orb. So I'm going to put this orb kind of in the center. You can eyeball it. And I'm going to give it that, put down that orb. I like the position, and now we can put it together. If you've been following me during Inktober, this should be a relatively easy pattern to put together, especially if you follow the step out. So step 1 was the orb. Step 2, we're going to give this orb a little smile underneath, and we're going to leave some space in there. Remember that takeoff and land, we're going to give this this is a pattern called Muka, and it's a takeoff and land and come back. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And remember, the first time I did this, actually, I didn't face the Muka outward. So watch me as I do this. And it's going to go to the outside, and then it's going to come back down and connect. So now we've created the base. Now the space in between, this is a little narrow. I wanted to fit it within this 2-inch block. I could have made these a little bit smaller and had a bigger space like I did on this one. But we're going to work with it. It's going to be fine. And then what the next step is, it's almost like I'm going to make a little, almost looks like a little cartoon hand in the center. And then we're going to come in and we're going to give it a blossom with 2 C shapes. I'm going to come next door. I'm going to give it a C shape, and that's going to come down. Now it's going to go behind this one, and then a third one. Had I made this whiter, then you would have seen the blossom more. So keep that in mind as you create yours. There are many ways that you can do this pattern. And improvise when it's not quite where you want it. So there we have, so that was step 5. And then we're going to come and on the tips of these petals, we're going to give them an aura on the inside. Now there's different ways that you can embellish. One of the ways is we can give it a little bit of a feather feather ink lines. Give it some interest in the center. And that is basically, that is the pattern drawn. Now I'm going to come around and I'm going to aura the entire pattern. Then I'm going to come in these little V spaces. Remember, I was doing a little bit of rounding. I'm down here, this orb, I'm going to, let's continue to embellish Syndeo. I'm going to give it a little bit of gold here. And I'm going to outline this area in gold. tile. Now when I do this outline, if I want to accentuate it, I can come back and I can give it a black outline as well to help it stand out. And also, I kind of like this. Now, this is the time when you can go and look at what other people have done to embellish this pattern. You basically learned how to put the pattern together during this video. Now it's time for you to go and look and see what other people have done and see what kind of inspiration you might get from having a look around. This was the carving on the back of a wooden chair that was in the museum. And they did a string of these leaf-like shape and created a vine. So it can be a vine. It can also be a blossom. I'm going to give some black inking on the tips of this blossom here. Remember, turning your tile really makes it a lot easier. And I don't like to turn too much when I'm doing these videos because I don't want to make you dizzy. So I do it as little as possible, but then I want to also be able to have my best strokes, especially while I'm on camera. So there we are. I'm gonna fix this. And you can go all the way around. And it starts to pop out. In this little V area, I'm going to do a rounding to give it some contrast. And then I'll finish around here and I'll do a little bit of, I'll see where I want to shade. So I'm going to do a little bit of shading here where the petals come in to this little hand-like area. And I'm going to do it on one side of these petals. See if I can get a little depth there. And come in with my blending stump that has a really fine point, because this is give it a little bit of rounding. Then we're going to call it a day for Syndeo. Come to the art lab if this interests you, and we're going to take a look at some ways that other people have been innovative with Syndeo, and also take a look at how we put this together. Because it's one thing to learn the pattern, it's another to create a whole tile with it. And so our Sunday art labs are for that. The information, the link to sign up on Eventbrite is in the description. And that concludes Syndeo demonstration here on this YouTube video for Inktober Tangles 2023, day 22. If you're enjoying our tutorials and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It helps us reach more creative folks like yourself. And don't forget about our Sunday virtual art lab. This Sunday, we are drawing the tangle for day 22, Syndeo, together. You can ask your questions and get them answered. Syndeo in Greek means bind or tie together. Bring your supplies to the virtual meeting. I'm going to be working on this Zentangle 4.5-inch circle. You can bring your sketchbook, bring what you have, and let's have some fun drawing Syndeo together and see all the different possibilities that the group comes up with. And don't forget, I've added chapters in the video description so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. As we look ahead, mark your calendars for our upcoming beginner series in November. Starting in November, our Sunday Art Lab on Zoom starts its Beginners Sunday. Easy pattern demonstrations you can draw with me. Registration opens this next week. It's the perfect opportunity to deepen your Zentangle practice. And we are recording this on October 21st, 2023. Plus, for those of you that would like to show a little extra support and buy us a virtual cup of coffee, we visit our Ko-fi.com tip jar. Your support keeps this creative space going, and I have that link in the description of this video. Well, that's it for today's Tangle exploration. Remember, there's no behind, just a world of creativity ahead. Stay inspired, and we'll see you on day 23. Happy tangling.